All right, this is from James. I'm in my late 20s. I've considered myself agnostic my whole life. I always understood why people believed in God, but I always felt it was more of a coping mechanism for people rather than a real force beyond our understanding. I started dating this girl a few months back who is beautiful and loving Christian. She and I have conversations about religion. Recently, my dad has become severely ill and probably doesn't have much longer to live. It's been very hard to deal with. I've become severely depressed. My girlfriend, who has been so helpful, has pushed me to try and seek help. She recommends that I go to a free grief group at a local church. I'm afraid they'll push the Bible on me, which worries me. I know she's right. My girlfriend says there's still wisdom in the Bible, even if you don't believe in it. He says, me, I've always had such interesting conversations about the Bible on your show. So I was wondering if you had any guidance for an agnostic like me as to where I can go in the Bible to seek guidance through grief. And my answer to this, which is going to get me in trouble with all my believing listeners, is no, I do not. And the reason I do not have it, obviously I can think of things in the Bible that might speak into your grief, but I'm not going to tell you what they are because you are running away from God into the Bible. The Bible is not a book of magic. It's not a book that suddenly you're going to read something there and it's going to alleviate your grief. What your girlfriend is telling you is right. You need to go and be with other people. First of all, I'm sorry for your father's illness. I know that can be very painful. And when you say you're depressed, it's possible you're not depressed, you're just sad. I mean, it's sad when somebody dies. It's just terribly, terribly sad. And when it's your father, where there's usually complications in the relationship, it means those complications will never be healed, which is going to be true anyway. So, it is a very, very sad thing. Now, I identify with what you're saying when you say that God is a coping mechanism. That is what I thought when I was a younger person. And in fact, in the darkest days of my life, in my late 20s, when I was in complete despair, I wouldn't turn to God at that moment specifically because I felt it was a crutch. And I thought if I were happy, maybe I would accept God. But since I'm miserable, I don't want to accept God just as a crutch, which of course is kind of dopey when you think about it. But God had a response to that. I didn't want to accept God. I didn't want to hear about God. I didn't want to hear certainly about Christianity or Jesus. And God's response was to send me help in forms that I could accept. So a psychiatrist who cured miraculously, I now believe, my illness was a non-believing Jewish guy. Nothing ever shocked him so much as when I went back to him years later and I said, I've become a Christian. He didn't realize it was he who freed me to do that. Again and again, God approached me in ways that I could accept because God is not like people. People want praise and want recognition for helping you, but God doesn't care. He's going to help you anyway. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You are living in the middle of a miracle and you don't know it. God is already helping you. God has already heard your call. He already knows your grief. He already knows your heart is hurting. Your girlfriend is a gift. She has been sent to you by a gift. If you don't want to go to this religious grief group, go to another grief group. It doesn't matter. God will be there. He will be there and he will speak to you. The hound of heaven is after you, pal. I'm going to tell you, you are living in the middle of your grief, in the middle of your sorrow, which is real. You are living in the middle of a miracle. God has sent you his help in the form of this girl. And that's the reason I'm not quoting the Bible at you. The Bible has a lot of wisdom in it, but what you're looking for is people. God works most of the time through other people. And if you go to this grief group, you will find the people you need who will lead you where you have to go. You don't need to be singing Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus will find you. And you are in the middle. I can tell. I'm looking at what's going on in your life and you're in the middle of a miracle. Grab the miracle. Don't turn the gift away. The gift is being handed to you. Take it. If you want more Klavan-y goodness, like and subscribe. And if you want even more Klavan-y goodness, like and subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.